DPP, you talk about EACC. All these bodies are silent to that matter because these individuals pay price to the higher office, higher being, higher power.
That is true. You have seen even in the judiciary, cases have been raised, and people have come out to say, I gave this. They have given videos, they have given text messages, and nothing is moving. The worry in Kenya should be the ring.
Yes.
It's very broad. But
how broad is it?
It's broad to the extent that the people who are being positioned, being placed. Let's start with the Ruto's wisest men, the so-called advisors. You have seen and heard what David Day has been saying. I'm mentioning him for the first time. I know him very well. I have sat with him even before elections. But to a certain point, I did not know that he was working with Ruto until I got him by chance in a meeting, in a private place. So he says they did not promise Kenya that they will fight corruption. And he talks down on young people when they are raising. At the same time, he's floating the academic ratios of his children in the high costs, most premier institutions
in the world, yeah.
When others are complaining about college fees.
Capitation.
You see, that is a man who is chairing the team that advises Ruto. I've seen even professors from Ivy League universities, the top universities, Harvard and the Oxfords, who are still in the same committee. And they have been professors in the universities. And their children have been asking them online, is this you, Mwalim? Money has the ability to suffocate, make you blind. And very few people with a chance would refuse a bribe or provided with an opportunity to loot, fail to do so. So society and men and women are inherently weak and vulnerable to evil. Does that mean that there's no solution? That's why the Chinese say that the fish rots from the head.
Yes.
So if Mwai Kibaki offered us bribes in his government, most of us would have taken. And of course, if you remember in the first term, there was even a gloricing. Okay? And it implicated some of his ministers and his closest allies. Of course, they were terminated and a number of them went. But the story did not end. You remember Gidongo's,
yes.
It is our time to eat. I know people, my good friends from my own community, who have either text, called, or delegated, or directly blamed some of us when you have raised questions because Kibaki was president or because Uhuru was then, particularly in Uhuru time. They would come and talk to us. And we lost friendships. I have personally, God is my witness, I have lost friends because they think when you criticize a government where your kinsman is at the helm,
yes,
you are betraying their cause. We have had offers. It's only that we don't talk about that because it will create distractions and there is no evidence to put on the table. That stop doing this, we'll give you this. If it is a question of SGR, if you handle this, even as a parliamentarian, and you become a surrogate, we'll do that. We have been called to meetings. Some of these people are now in IBC, who are being sent by the people who are in charge of youth affairs then, when they were looting NYS. And, let's do this. This person is taking this money to help our side because our side needs some money. So you want to sanitize and justify corruption because the person speaks your vernacular.
Yeah.
So the rot today is at the top. It is the wheelbarrow, the yellow wheelbarrow, cutting away the dreams and hopes of the hustlers. If State House has not been converted to a bribery palace by the occupant, those guests will not be trooping in. So the problem is at the top. As much as I would ask your leaders, for instance, if today, looking at you in the eye and saying, if today I lifted this phone that I called William Ruto, or my friend and neighbor Doale, or arrogant Mokomen, and told them that I want to work with the government, I'll have my 20, 30, even 50 million on the table. So there must be restraint from the individual. Because at the end of the day, what you have procured through effort, through your creativity, you can float it around, and even your children will be very proud.
Proud, yes.
But if today my children know that I am in this situation, tomorrow they see me with the cash stocked in the house, 20 million, and then I'm buying them a car, a new car, and all that, and I cannot explain this. You lose the moral authority to first to speak against evil, or even to offer guidance. So when people are saying that Ruto is a problem, it is not ethnic hate. If we say that Ruto is a worst terrible, people are not speaking some facts that are so new and fresh. Wasn't there a barrio that was full of politics last week?
There was.
I want now to, I rarely mention any ethnic group because I think you can easily be misunderstood. Did you see a Kalejin MP in Ikerao's barrio, Olokarao? Not one. That was instruction from William Ruto, because he was going to that barrio to do an ethnic battle, and he knew Rigathi Gachagua was going. So his was, and even this meeting he's holding in State House yesterday with the Corinos and others, specifically, is an onslaught. I want to ask you, in a parliament where Kerao had served for a record
15 years, 3 times, yeah.
Not 10 years. Actually 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah. He came in 2013. I was with him for his first term. There was not a single MP from Kalejin land who was his friend. They were instructed not to go to that barrio because they knew and they feared that Ruto would be embarrassed, and Ruto doesn't want to face that. So here's a problem. Look at the litany of appointments that he has been making. Look at the so-called arrest that he made on energy sector chiefs the other day. We knew it was just a camouflage. Those are briefcase carriers. The owner of the kitty is William Ruto. He is the greatest tragedy and the greatest disaster and the greatest curse that Kenya has faced. When we say this, they say, oh, entitlement. Because you come from Central, because you are a Kikuyu, you come from Mount Kenya. Really? People have their ethnic identities, which is a heritage to be proud of and celebrate. I'm at home. I get disappointed when my children don't answer me in Kikuyu because that's their mother tongue. All right? Just like there's the motherland Kenya. Yeah? In this mother nature. So, when we are criticizing Ruto, we should not be misunderstood that we are doing so because he is a Kalejin. When we criticize Uhuru Kenyatta, we were not betraying our community.
Yes.
We even criticized Raila Odinga, but we ended up even supporting him. Yes. Just like Ruto has been supported. So these are pertinent questions. Like now people have said that Senator Medo insulted Ruto. Where is the insult? He said, I respect you in this regard, in this context, and this context, but I don't fear you. Ruto himself said he doesn't fear Uhuru. Yeah. Kidiki himself said he doesn't fear Uhuru. Kimani Ichung'wah, a catastrophic character as a majority leader, said he doesn't fear Uhuru. And I agree. Why would you fear anybody but God? Almighty, omnipotent, omnipresent, almighty creator.
Omniscient.
Of heaven and earth, of all beings. But fear